Hey guys, here I am outside the Line Hotel in Los Angeles, Koreatown no less. I can actually see the Hollywood sign from my room. I'll do a little photo of that for you in a bit, but I just wanted to tell you about my forthcoming tour in January and February 2026 called Justin Hawkins Rides Again, because it's the second time I've done it. In theatres, as I mentioned, throughout the UK, all the locales and venues and towns and so on will be hurtling across the screen even as I speak. I'm going to do an episode about Warren Zevon because, as many of you are probably aware, he's one of my favourite artists, and there was a tribute to him at the Hall of Fame recently, which I think bears reaction. So that's what this episode is all about. I'm in the homeland of Warren Zevon, so seems fitting that I should talk about him. Nice one, guys. Enjoy the episode. Cheers.
Good day to you one and all. It is I, Justin Hawkins, and this is Justin Hawkins Rides Again, once again from the unfamiliar surroundings of a hotel room, whilst on the road with the darkness, doing the Dreams on Toast North America leg of our touring endeavour. It's exciting. I like being here. This is I'm in a hotel called The Line, and I think it's lovely. You know, concrete walls, these sort of metal adornments designed to look like a flock of fleeing swallows, seagulls or something, I don't know. I like it anyway. It's nice. I can see the Hollywood sign from here as well, in the dim and foggy distance, I suppose. I was actually at Venice Beach today, and I did that deliberately because I wanted to try and record a bit of an intro to this episode, because it's a part of LA that's referenced in the lyrics of a Warren Zevon song, and I'm going to talk about Warren Zevon today, because the City of Angels, or the Big Angel as I like to call it, hosted the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony last weekend, and I want to talk about one of the artists who'd been excluded until now, Warren Zevon. I'll do the theme tune and then I'll explain why he means so much to me. Justin Hawkins rides again late at night, because I've just been to a birthday dinner again. Not my birthday, somebody else's. Tour manager, actually. So Warren Zevon is somebody that my dear friend Robert Shaw tried to introduce me to a long time ago. I wasn't ready to hear it. I think because I was fascinated by Todd Rundgren, he thought that there was some sort of overlap in the Venn diagram of these two artists, and he thought I'd probably enjoy it because, you know, I appreciate people that pore over their lyrics and have sort of like heartbreaking stories and actually misanthropy. I think that's a really important part of all songwriting, to observe the human condition and the fact that we're all basically just a mess. I like people that celebrate that in their lyrics, and he's one of those guys. So it took me a while to get into it, and the album that I think really resonated with me was Excitable Boy. I still listen to it now. Actually, I went for a run this morning in that direction, as the crow flies, to the observatory and somewhere near where the Hollywood sign is, I suppose, just in that general direction. And when I go for a jog, I find if you listen to Excitable Boy, and then you get to the end of Excitable Boy, that's when it's time to turn around and come back. I love that record. I'm going to talk about one of the songs from it. Warren Zevon died in 2003, and a year earlier he'd spoken to his friend David Letterman on The Late Show about his diagnosis.
How did I learn about it?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, let me say that I might have made a tactical error in not going to a physician for 20 years.
I see. All right.
It was one of those phobias that really didn't pay off.
So I think the type of lung cancer that he had was it's the one that you get from breathing in asbestos dust, I suppose. I always worry about my father, actually, because when I used to work on the building sites with him, it was quite often it would be renovating an old property, and then a lot of that's just ripping out the stuff that's in there. And he used to do that without a mask on. Just daft as you can get, I suppose. Anyway, on Saturday, it was David Letterman who paid tribute to Warren Zevon.
Warren's music is dense with historic allusion, love and sadness tinted with unexpected whimsy, delivered with third rail voltage rock and roll or sweet, heartbreaking, lush symphonic melodies. Either version of the man's music is classic rock and roll.
My manager always says he refuses to call him Zevon, he calls him Zevon. But Warren Zevon, in that extended edition of Excitable Boy, there's a song called I Need a Truck, know my name. Yeah, but at the beginning he says, I Need a Truck by Warren Zevon. He introduces it himself and pronounces his own name, Zevon. Anyway, Letterman also spoke about Warren's work, giving it 3 categories: the global and personal strife, including Excitable Boy, I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, and Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner.
Roland was a warrior from the land of the midnight sun.
That's the geopolitical ghost story, if you like. I really think that's an amazing song, because I think the first chorus, it just talks about Roland the Thompson Gunner, and then once he meets his demise in the second verse, the refrain changes to Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner. It's a brilliant arrangement, actually. Really clever stuff. The Mutineer, Reconsider Me, and Searching for a Heart were given love song status in category 2. And in the final category, on its own, arguably his best-known single, Werewolves of London.
Better stay away from him. He'll rip your lungs out, Jim. He's out in the Berkshires looking for James Taylor.
That's the 1978 song from Excitable Boy that I think it's hard to argue that Kid Rock didn't rip that one off for that ridiculous piece of nonsense about it being summertime or something. What a bunch of shit. But that's, it originally came from this, which is awesome. Anyway, he went on to introduce the Killers and their special guest Waddy Wachtel, who co-produced and played on many of Zevon's records. So I think the Killers played probably my favourite. I mean, there's a song on Excitable Boy called Lawyers, Guns and Money, and it's one that used to sort of pop up after I've been listening to Crosby, Stills and Nash, and then I suppose Spotify just thinks, oh, if you like that, you'll probably like this one as well. And then they used to put this Lawyers, Guns and Money. But what I love about it is it's kind of like it sounds to me like it's D position, like I don't know what fret they would start on, but it sounds like D, D, A, D, D, A, D, D, A, E, and then a really satisfying E. What makes it satisfying is like the bass is kind of on the A, even when the D's happening. So it's kind of like the D's suspended over the A, and then it hits the A, and that's satisfying in itself. And then everybody goes to the E at the end of that sort of riff. It's really cool. You don't even need to sing anything over it for it to be awesome. So let me click on the Killers version and see what this is like. This is actually the first time I've seen this. See, that's, I don't know, the lyrics on that is just like, I went home with the waitress the way I always do. How was I to know she was with the Russians too? And then when you look into Warren Zevon's life, all this stuff sort of sounds like it's just like some sort of allegorical tale or a conceit to build a song around. But there's little echoes of these Russian connections and the misogynistic nature of that existence, that there are echoes of that in Warren Zevon's life and sort of history as well. So I think it's kind of, it's a really stark songwriting style where you sort of, there's comedy in that first line, but it's the kind of comedy that reveals as opposed to disguises, if you know what I mean. I think Brandon Flowers is doing a reasonable job of singing that thing, because in the original Warren Zevon one, it's kind of like that how was I to know? He kind of gives it so much of the affectation, it's almost laughable, and you you allow the line to get away from you. But when Brandon Flowers does it, he's actually given it sort of less of a kind of, there's less separation in between the no and the ho, if you see what I mean.
She was with the Russians too.
Slightly off my... Hey!
I was gambling in Havana. I took a little risk.
I was gambling in Havana, I took a little risk. Send lawyers, guns and money. Dad, get me out of this.
Send lawyers, guns and money. Dad, get me out of this. Hi-ya!
Okay, this is a band that really knows the song. I think the Killers are doing a great job on this. Especially
I'm the innocent
this drummer. He's kicking up.
but somehow I got stuck.
I love this middle section because it's kind of an innocent bystander. Dum, 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 dum. Like the music starts doing that, and it sort of gets into that theatrical, almost Meatloaf-esque Jim Steinmanisms in the fucking magnitude of what the musical movements are, and it's just what I call a middle eight, or an American songwriter would describe that as the bridge. It's not even, he's throwing that stuff out in the bridge, and it's huge. It's sort of iconic chord sequences that a lot of people hang their whole coat and hat on, and he's just throwing it away.
But somehow I got stuck between a rock and a hard place, and I'm down on my luck. Yeah, I'm down on my luck. Well, I'm down on my luck. I'm hiding in Honduras.
See, that's the thing about that. The refrain of "I'm down on my luck." You think in music when it's 4/4, you think stuff like that's going to happen 4 times, but 3 times feels just right. In a lot of the stuff that he's doing in this song, it's like things happen 3 times, and like that's all you need somehow. I don't know why that is. It's a feel thing. But even like the first time you hear this song, it's like, oh, okay. You know, if you're writing it, it would be, I don't know, like maybe it's the OCD in me that makes me think that 4 would, on paper, make more sense, wouldn't it? But somehow 3 just feels right. Or it just doesn't outstay its welcome. It's just like, I don't know. I think it's really clever, but it is just as simple as not sticking around beyond the moment when it feels like stale, I suppose, you know.
I'm hiding in Honduras.
I mean, what a riff that is.
I'm a desperate man.
D, A, D, C sharp, A.
I'm a desperate man. Send lawyers, guns, and money. The shit has hit the fan.
I think he's oversold that line, but I think it is the most important line in it. The shit has hit the fan. I think that's another Todd Rundgrenism. Isn't there one when the shit hits the fan? He talks about that, or uses that idiom. Oh, and then a little nod to Werewolves of London as well.
Send lawyers, guns, and money.
Great, there's a great bit of drumming.
Send lawyers, guns, and money. Send lawyers.
See, I can hear that this sort of live mix is overlooked one of the really important guitar parts. I can hear somebody playing it, but it's buried at the moment. But there's a bit of goes, and it's a shame that it's kind of, I mean, obviously it's a live thing, so there's always a sort of rogue element as to whether the, whether they're going to be able to pick everything out, but and get all the movements and pushes and accents right. But there's just this one guitar part which I feel could be more prominent in the mix. That's a it's a beautiful guitar part. It is happening there, but it's sort of buried a bit.
Send lawyers, guns, and money.
Can you hear that? Is that it's in there? Just wish it was louder.
Send lawyers, guns, and money.
Okay, that's a really, I think that's a good effort, a solid interpretation of a great song, really. Now, this bit was written by my friend Robert, who introduced me to Warren Zevon in the first place. He said, before his death, Zevon gave his blessing to a biography and oral history, I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, compiled by his ex-wife Crystal, requesting that the book be uncompromisingly honest. It reveals a history of alcoholism, abusive behaviour, and profound failings. To engage with the Zevon catalogue is to confront a complex question: how can we enjoy these songs knowing they are inextricably linked to the chaos and pain he inflicted and experienced? Must we separate the art from the artist? And this is, I'm going back to this thing that Venart said to me about separating the tune from the tunesmith. What do we have left if we do that? And actually, would he be able to write these songs if they weren't, informed by that, what I suppose in the modern vernacular you might refer to it as toxicity? Without that, how is it possible to write songs that celebrate, glorify, and I don't know, give you the perspective of a person who is a bit fucked up, I suppose. There's another song in the sort of additional. There's stuff in the Warren Zevon catalogue that literally makes me cry. I want to stop running and pull over and cry. So before I get into those sort of extra sort of tracks on Excitable Boy, the sort of deluxe edition, the stuff where it's just him at the piano exploring thematically the songs that become the songs from the record. There's some stuff in there that is just heartbreaking. It's really amazing. So I want you to check out Excitable Boy. If you're not familiar with that record, listen to it all. Listen to all the extra stuff around it. Move on to Warren Zevon, the record. And listen out for the sort of Eagles-isms and stuff, because I think he worked with Jackson Browne, but also members of the Eagles. And you can hear that, especially in the backing vocal arrangements on some of his songs. The French Inhaler. When I used to smoke, that was my method of choice. Not that there's anything glamorous or interesting about that, but it's just something that I can relate to, I suppose. All right, guys, check out Warren Zevon and let me know what you thought of the Killers' performance. I thought they did a really great job. You can tell that they love that material. One thing I would say was I think Brandon Flowers got a little bit overexcited with the shit has hit the fan line. You could see him sort of gearing up to it, knowing that it was coming, and he was going to really relish that, and I think he overshot it a little bit. But beyond that, I can't really criticise it. It sounds like a band that really loves the material, playing it to the best of their ability and making everybody happy in the process. And in the context of a tribute, what more could you ask for? So yeah, use the comment section below to tell me what you think. Justin Hawkins Rides Again. I'm doing this in a different key just because there are people sleeping in the room next door and it's late. You know what I mean? I've got to be a little bit, haven't I? Not a lot, but a little bit. Yes, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Watch one of these two videos and note that I said notifications. Duh. Well, what else did I want to say? Oh yeah, come and see me live, but I talked about that already. Nice one, guys. I'll see you on the eyes.
Again.